get up, but he has a first down for the Rams.
Wow. I have to think a little bit back to the Super Bowl when that was the call, right? And that key fourth down in that play.
First and goal from the 5. Inside of 9 to go. Kyren Williams bouncing to the outside. Williams to the end zone. The Rams take the lead. Kyren Williams did a lot of the work on that drive. A long drive for an LA lead.
It has been the blocks of these tight ends on the edge out here. That time Colby Parkinson, Puka Nacua out there. But Kyren Williams has the vision, has the patience, and he set it up, right? Did you see the way he went inside to set up the bounce out? That looked like the first drive for the Rams.
Big extra point. Davis knocks it through. 14 play, 91-yard drive. 7 of those plays runs by Kyren Williams, who takes it to the end zone and gives the Rams a 17-10 lead in this divisional playoff, presented by Intuit TurboTax. Bears are down in the fourth quarter. Nothing new. They've had ice in their veins in this turnaround all year, and why not a championship bear? Mike Singletary, guys that I want winners. Well, the Bears were winners last week. Largest postseason comeback in team history against the Packers. Their first postseason win, ending the 15-year drought. 7 coming when trailing in the last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter. An NFL record. Super Bowl champion Bears here to watch the team he played and starred for try to do it again. 8:50 to go. In Chicago time, that's plenty of time. They are down 7. Devin Duvernay up the numbers. Here comes Duvernay. Nice return to give the Bears decent field position at the 36-yard line. So, flip the lead again in the fourth quarter. It's happened so often in this postseason. 14 times in the fourth quarter, with 5 teams coming back in those last 3 minutes. Postseason history. Bears have been a part of it. They have a chance to make more of it. And Chris, it's a calm about this team when they get in spots like this, but they have been quiet on offense since the second quarter.
They really have been, and I think you have to give a little credit here to some of the changes and the intensity of the play from this D-line. Now is when they are needed most.
Caleb Williams can do out of the pocket, buying time. He'll come back towards his tackle eligible. It's incomplete. Theo Benedette, who ran a route last week, if you remember, was the tackle eligible. He was downfield. Williams hit him, but Benedette couldn't bring it in.
Oh boy, that one almost ended their season, let's be honest, because that ball bounced straight up in the air and could have very easily been picked off that time. Darius Williams had a shot.
You see a little bit of what Chris was talking about. Williams unable to get going here in the second half. A couple of those were on the receiver's hands. They couldn't bring him in. But still 2 for 8. And now he's pressured. Escapes, looks to take off. Got away from the tackle. Williams got a downfield block. There goes Caleb to the 37-yard line. Big gain of 26 for Williams.
Well, I've been waiting to see one of these. When Caleb rolls out right or left, it's one thing. When he attacks down the middle of a defense, even if there's a spy sitting right there, in that case, Nate Landman, if he can make one guy miss, they got him. Because the Rams came into this knowing that Caleb was going to scramble around. They also knew with a 4-man rush there would be an open lane. They wanted to dictate which lane it was. That time they did, but they missed the tackle.
Sometimes that gets this team going. Swift had to secure it, and DeAndre Swift gets to the 33-yard line. As we mentioned, the 60-year running back, shout out to him for the nice block downfield on Darius Williams to allow that run by Williams to make an impact.
So we've got 3 tight ends in the game there. And so what it does is it takes this really good defensive line of the Rams and spreads them out. So now instead of there being whatever 6 gaps, there's 9 gaps that they have to account for. So you've got defensive backs, you've got linebackers who have to fill that gap when they're not used to doing it.
From the 33, it is Swift looking for a cutback lane. It's the 29 with Desjuan Johnson. for the Rams on the tackle. Big third down coming up as we go under 7 minutes left in regulation.
The guy that they're bringing in right now, Kyle Monangai, really made an impression on me. That route that he ran, that little halfback option. We saw him pick up blitzes, so maybe he gets involved here.
They're 6 of 13 on third down conversions. It's Monangai inside. Does he get the extra step for the first down? Let's check the mark. Yep. Down judge is coming in saying move the chains. Patrick Holt says it's a first down. Sean Hockley confirms it on the field.
Nice when you have that kind of confidence in a rookie, right? And we've seen him all season long. He is a tank. You are very rarely going to bring him down. Here they brought the safety blitz, which really brought the defense right to the play, but Monangai able to just plow his way right through it.
And laying on bodies, so no body part came down. He got all of that for the first down. The 27. Williams looking to set something up. Rolling, nothing there. Sideline toss for Loveland. Incomplete.
They're right around that that field goal range, which doesn't do them a whole lot of good here at this point. So we're seeing Ben Johnson go to the fake reverses, try and get somebody popped wide open out there. This is the kind of spot where we have seen him take some shots down the field and try and put the ball in the end zone.
Second and 10. Rushes 4. Williams shot downfield, incomplete. Streaking across was Olamide Zaccheaus. The Rams had that blanketed on the back end. It'll be third down with 5:43 to go.
Yeah, interesting. They put 3 tight ends in the game to throw deep. It's almost like with Ben Johnson, like whatever you traditionally know about football, if you've got it spread outside with all wide receivers, that's when he runs, and he will go completely opposite of what you expect.
You got to get 10 here, as you said before, that clock at 5:43. Big drive. Williams protected. Sideline throw. Odunze. Did he bring him down? Yes. A catch for Odunze at the 11-yard line. There's a penalty marker down. Let's see where it is and what it is.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense number 8. The penalty's half the distance to the goal, automatic, first down.
Penalty on first will take it down to around the 6.
So this time they're going to have everybody in a different spot here, right? The 3-layer throw. Instead of having nobody in the flat, he had somebody in the flat to control what was happening behind him. But Odunze, what a catch.
Oh, wow. Here's the hit by Verse. Terry McCauley says correct call. Sean Hockley just dropped the flag around the 46-yard line where he was standing. So it's first and goal. Bears going for a tying score. They're at the 5, and DeAndre Swift is the back.
Oh, here we go. They went out wide here. He had to check it.
Swift cutting it back up inside. Inside the 3. Got about half of the yardage there.
That was a nice job, though, by Caleb. You were fairly certain. I was thinking DeAndre Swift off the right side, which is where they've been going the whole time. Last second, you saw Landman jump down there. Hold it. Go up and audible. Got half of it back.
And that's a guy who spends all that time with Ben Johnson. Early in, late out, understanding of the plays, and just getting out of a bad play there keeps the Bears in a good spot here. Second and goal from the 3. Overload to the left. It's Swift to the right side. Down to the 2-yard line. Third and goal. Clock ticking fast. 4:15 to go. Tense time at Soldier Field.
Ben Johnson has been very, very patient with this running game down inside the 5-yard line. The mobility of my quarterback would have to come into play at some point here.
Just spread him out here. 2 tight ends to the left, 1 in Odunze to the right.
They are loaded up inside.
3rd and goal. They're going to run out of the gun. Swift, can he get to the edge? He hurdles. He's knocked out of the air by Quentin Lake. What a hit by Lake. As Darius Williams went low, Lake goes high. It is 4th and goal.
Goodness gracious, season on the line here, and Lake comes out of nowhere to make the perfect hit. And now, Mike, not only is it 4th down here, but you also would have to at least think about what might happen with a 2-point conversion here as well.
4th and goal for the Bears. Williams moves him. He's back. Inside throw broken up by Omar Spates. And the Rams have come up with another defensive stop. With 3:03 to go, the Rams defense pitching a shutout here in the second half in tight space for Burden. Omar Spates comes up with the play. The Rams have the lead, and they have the ball with 3 to go. We'll have it for you on NBC. 3 timeouts left for Chicago. Williams a run, 2 yards. The Bears try to pin them back here. Timeout taken by Chicago. Let's go to these 4th downs, Chris. 3 of them tonight. Big part of the story.
They really have been, and we really haven't seen Caleb Williams involved at all with his feet. He has simply been in the pocket, making throws, handing off. That was short. Come back again from the pocket, putting no pressure on the defense whatsoever. I just think that when you have a weapon with the mobility of what Caleb Williams has, it was his big run that set up that drive. To never put that pressure on the defense in a run-pass situation, I think it makes it easier for the defense.
Fans urging the defense on. 2nd and 8. Stafford throw down here. Gonna hand it. Williams to the right. Got the quarter turn. Bumped out of bounds, but he's got the 1st down. So a big run by Williams to get to the edge. He picks up the 1st down with 2:52 remaining.
Doing a great job with these tight ends. I feel like I've been talking about them all night long, but Davis Allen was such a key block there. They have had 2 and 3 tight ends in the game all game long, and I just can't believe that the Rams have the chance to make it to the championship game, and 3 tight end sets are going to be such a significant part.
Bears can get the ball back with about 1:55 left with the 2 timeouts and the 2-minute warning here. See what they do. Inside run Williams. That's a big play. Back behind the line of scrimmage by Byard. Bears take their 2nd time. I know they're going to let it run down here. They're going to let it run down with 2:37 to go.
Well, you know it's desperation time when your free safety is going to have to cross the line of scrimmage and try and make these plays. They simply have no other choice at this point. A couple more 1st downs, and this one's over.
2nd and 12. It's Williams left. Gets a couple. Bears get it at 2:07. 1 timeout and the 2-minute warning left.
Well, it does give you the chance here to possibly use the 2-minute.
Save
if it's
a
an
timeout.
incomplete pass, right?
If he throws it here, then you get your timeout and the 2 perhaps.
Right, so it does put pressure on them to not throw the ball here.
This season for the Bears has been defined by Ben Johnson's arrival, the offense, young talent, great comebacks. But on a franchise whose foundation is defense, now their defense must come up for them in the biggest moment of the season. 3rd and 10.
Do they come back to the pressure? Matthew Stafford got him when they tried to hit him with that edge pressure last time, and they are not going there here. They're going to play zone defense.
The 14, the Rams run it with Williams. He's stopped 17-yard line. Dennis Allen's defense comes up with a stop. They maintain their one timeout. We've got the 2-minute warning. The Rams are going to kick to the Bears, the team that had the most comebacks all year in the NFL. Will they be able to do it again? A shot in the NFC title game in Seattle awaits. After the game, Chevrolet post-game, Melissa and Kaylee will talk to the stars of the game. Maria and our studio crew will get you set for championship weekend. Chris and I will do the same. Rams punting the ball. They've had special teams issues throughout this season. Devin Duvernay is back. Ethan Evans to kick for LA. All 10 Bears at the line. Coming through. Evans gets rid of it. Not a good kick. It bounces around midfield, and the Bears are going to have sensational field position with 1:50 and a timeout.
Mike, it is the woes of the Rams that basically caused that. Because I think if they had not had the kick blocked last week and the troubles that they had, they probably would have been perfectly comfortable getting spread out and covering that kick. Instead, basically encouraged the Bears to come down and come after them, and it caused the bad kick.
So it is that time, and he's been that guy this year. Caleb Williams at a record-setting level, 2-minute comebacks. The Bears need 50 yards in 1:50 to keep their hopes alive of getting to the championship game. Williams throws in the middle. It's incomplete. Almost in the hands of Burton, nearly into the hands for the third time tonight of Kobe Durant. Second down.
Oh, what an opportunity this was. The free safety went over the top to the 3 wide receiver side over there and just missed.
Williams has put several balls right on the hands of Bears receivers. They haven't been able to squeeze it. Second and 10. Game Moore in motion. Williams in the middle, throws complete to Loveland to the 32. Put his head hard on the ground as he got down. Gain of 18 yards. Loveland working his way to the sideline here. Cole Kmet comes in. Clock spins.
What a snap throw that was. DJ Moore has been the guy so many times. End of game.
No rundown here. Swift opening. DeAndre Swift inside the 20 to the 19. It's a gain of 13 yards. Bears in the red zone.
And they do that running off to that left side behind Tooney and McFadden.
Final minute of regulation. 4-man rush. Williams inside throw, the slant caught by Burton at the 14-yard line. Pickup of 6. 45 seconds and a timeout left.
Keep going, though. You want to keep going. This tremendous pass rush of the Rams can't substitute, and they can't get after Caleb Williams right now.
Williams firing sideline, too hot for Burton. Incomplete, 31 seconds. It's 3rd and 4. Colston Loveland remains on the Chicago sideline. Such a big target and an important player in these comebacks.
And a really important miss that time by Caleb Williams, because he did allow the substitution to take place for the Rams there. And again, that's one of those throws. That was an easy throw. That was an open receiver. Would have been nice to have kept that clock moving and kept that defense on the field.
3rd and 4. Williams, end zone, nothing. DJ Moore, the intended receiver in the Chicago season, down to 4th and 4.
It's always so tough in this situation because guys are simply exhausted. I'm assuming they're not going to run Caleb Williams. We haven't seen him in key situations tonight doing that. Typically, it has just been from the pocket. And generally, we have seen it with these quick in-cut routes to try and pick up this first down. And boy, they've got pressure looks coming.
The Rams are going to use one of their 3 timeouts, one of those quote-unquote Kodak timeouts. They saw what the Bears came out with, and they'll get a peek. And Ben Johnson looked at his play sheet, see if he wants to go somewhere else. Again, Loveland off the field. Luther Burden, the rookie receiver, came off the field with Olamide Zaccheaus, the veteran, out there for that first look at 4th down.
Yeah, it's interesting. You know, just watching what DJ Moore has done against the Green Bay Packers, end of game, big situations. He has been the guy. He's the guy that you pay. Could he do it 3 times?
So here we go, 4th and 4.
Expose the blitz.
Command in motion. Williams drifting, sprinting for space, in all kinds of trouble, put it up for grabs in the end zone. Command! He got it! For the touchdown! They've done it again! Unbelievable! Huge extra point for the veteran Cairo Santos to tie the game at 17. Got it. Tie game. I don't believe this team. Bear down, Chicago Bears.
I think I have seen it all. So we're going to get motion out here because they're going to want to get the one-on-one against the 6'5" tight end, against the 5'11" Kobe Durant on the outside, and simply throw one up. But it wasn't there in time, but I have never seen anything like that. In all my days, I have never seen anything like that. That was as blind a throw, just knowing where your guy was, give him a chance. And there are probably only 2 or 3 quarterbacks in the NFL that could have made that throw with the fadeaway jumper all the way into the end zone.
And the Rams are looking for a push-off on Komet down here. As you saw, Lake and Durant turn back around to the receivers, to the officials. As Williams was getting hit, put it up for grabs. And look at this look by Josiah Stewart. He's looking up at the screen. Hand fighting, hand fighting. Komet breaks away. Terry McCauley, you say no pass interference.
No, absolutely not. They're just together, and all of a sudden he just releases and goes deep in the end zone. Not a foul for offensive passing offense.
And for Cole Komet, his first target of the night, his first reception, and Sean McVay, you're not alone. A lot of folks have seen that. There's still time. There's still 2 timeouts. And 17 seconds left. Here's Whittington on the return for the Rams. At the 25, he is met. Brought down there as Dominique Robinson was trying to get the ball away from him with 13 seconds left. And Soldier Field is absolutely nuts right now. What a scene.
It's like something out of the Wizard of Oz. I have never seen anything like this month for the Chicago Bears. I've been around football my whole life. I've never seen it.
Rams line up to take a knee. And we're going OT. We'll just let you listen to these fans. Sean McVay going to do a little rally of troops here. That's a punch in the gut. Get your guys right. This is the 106th season of Chicago Bears football. There have been championship seasons, great championship teams in the earlier days. There's never been a season like this in this city.
Any city.
Yeah. All right, Sean Hockley, I'm sure, will walk us through here as we get set to start a new game. Playoff overtime.
Welcome to overtime. The rules of overtime in the playoffs are as follows. There'll be 15 minutes on the clock. We essentially start a new game. Each team has 3 timeouts. All reviews are initiated by the booth. We'll play. Each team will get a possession unless there's a defensive score, including if the first possession is a touchdown. Los Angeles, you're still the visitor. The NFL shield is still tails. Still tails, heads, heads. What's your call, sir? He's called heads. Heads is the call. It is a tails. You have won the toss. You want a kick. Which side do you want to receive? They want a kick. You want to receive here? Los Angeles will receive on this end. Good luck, gentlemen.
All right, so the Rams will drive towards the north end of Soldier Field. They get the ball first. Caleb Williams with one of the great playoff touchdown passes ever to Cole Kmet. Game tied at 17. Seattle awaits. The last spot in the Final Four awaits. The stunned Rams off the deck. Overtime in Chicago. Coming up.
I told everybody all week that Caleb Williams' play on 4th and 8 a week ago would not be matched. It was the best play of the year. Guess what? It ain't no more. We got one better from Caleb Williams this time. And I have never seen a quarterback outrace an entire defense backwards, throw a fadeaway jump shot for the game-tying touchdown. Are you kidding me, Caleb Williams? Come on, Mike.
It'll go down as a 14-yard touchdown pass, but will never be remembered as such. Here we go, overtime. Each team the possession. First the Rams. Ronnie Rivers from the 1. 20 and the 27-yard line. He gets pulled down by Elijah Hicks of the Bears. And now it's Matthew Stafford, no stranger to comebacks and success in overtime. You see his numbers. He goes against the 11 Bears and 61,000 screaming fans.
What does he say? He goes, there's nothing better than going on a game-winning drive and looking in the stands and say, take that.
Rams get it first. Bears will get their chance to possess. The 27, Williams, left. Kyron Williams, Jackson pulling at the ball. Got to bring Williams down. Kyron takes it to the 34. It's a pickup of 7 for LA.
Yeah, it's one of the dangers, right? If you're constantly going to try and dig that football out the way the Bears do on defense, you also get dragged for a few yards. Jump down to the 5-man line, and Stafford's got to check out of it. I think he had a run. Let's see where he goes.
Keep the run on. Williams, Jaquan Brisker, Grady Jarrett. Just short of the first down. So 3rd and a yard coming up.
Yeah, it was interesting. That was a run audible. All he did was bring those 2 wide receivers in tight because he couldn't account for the edges. And that edge pressure has been giving them nightmares all night long.
Bears bring their big people up. Stack the front of the line for 3rd and 1. Blake Corum is the running back. Pitch. Corum. Off the first hit. Not the second one. Kevin Byard with the stop. The Rams will punt to the Bears.
Wow. And it was Grady Jarrett from somewhere in here who smelled that thing out and went right to it. He didn't make the play, but it was good enough. And now the Chicago Bears and Caleb Williams are going to have a chance to pull off the completely improbable.
Wyndham is back. Ethan Evans. Devin Duvernay back to receive. Runs up on it. Fair catch signaled at the 15-yard line. Kick of 50. And the Bears will take over. Now we are at next score wins. Each team has its possession.
Mike, it's really hard to describe being on offense, playing quarterback, in this moment and the amount of pressure. You have equal parts. I have a chance to be a hero, go down the field here, right? Kick a field goal, win the game. But if I throw that interception, the season ends with a field goal the other way.
Down here at their own 16. DeAndre Swift is the running back. Fake to him. Williams. Komet secures it. They're very close to the first down. Depending on where the ball was when he went out of bounds. At the moment, they mark him a yard ahead. So it's a first down for Chicago at the 27. Ball in the left hand. He's still in bounds. Past the marker. Spotted perfectly.
And you have the hammer right now if you're Caleb Williams. You do not have to do anything crazy.
Right.
You can take short, quick passes, take advantage. You can run the football.
As they will here with Swift trying to get to the outside, pulled down and thrown down by Jared Verse. Kaylee Hartung with the Bears.
Well, Mike, in the biggest moments, Caleb Williams told me the most important thing he can do is stay level-headed. When he came back to the sideline after that game-tying touchdown, he was cold as ice, no celebration. Kevin Byard told me he thinks Williams wants the game on his shoulders. It's all mental. He said you either have it or you don't, and Caleb does.
Consistent with all those 7 other comebacks this year.
The Rams have not come out of this too deep secondary, though.
Williams slants, caught by Moore. Turns to the 33-yard line with forward progress. Cameron Kinchens with the tackle. The third and about 4 yards here for the Bears.
So you can see with the 2 safeties down the middle of the field, there is space right in here to take advantage, and that's exactly what Caleb Williams did there.
Third down coming up from their own 34. Colston Loveland remains out of the game for Chicago. Injured on that game-tying drive. Cole Komet's the tight end at the top. Moore in motion. Rams bring 4. Williams in trouble. Escaping. Trying to run for it. Can he get there? Took the hit. Stayed in bounds. First down, Bears.
Well, it took a long time to get there, but we have seen the full Caleb Williams experience here coming down the stretch. Just had to hit the Jets and get there, had to, and he did.
From their own 38-yard line, it's Monungai now as the running back. Fake to him. And they get it to him. 3 receivers downfield, cleared out the space. And Monungai takes it to the 44-yard line. Forward progress is a gain of 6. Again, the Bears moving down. If they can get another 25 yards or so, they start to get into Cairo Santos' field goal range. The wind is not bad at the moment. Next score goes to Seattle.
Try and take advantage there. A little semi-roll away for Caleb Williams. Throw it back across the grain. All eyes now on 18, and he's able to draw the defense to him.
Jimenez lead blocker on the toss to Swift. The Rams get there again with Landman. Nate Landman, who has done a terrific job all season long. And those plays outside, the Rams have been getting great penetration.
Here's Landman right there, and for Tooney, maybe this is one of those times he just had not worked that play that much, right? Unable to get there, and one of the disadvantages of making late moves with the offensive line.
Tooney slid out to left tackle for this game. Jordan McFadden played 3 snaps in the last 2 seasons, done a good job at left guard. Now it's 3rd and 6. Here comes some pressure. The Williams throw to Komet. He's got it. Is he short of the first down? Let's check this mark. He is. So what do you do now, Ben Johnson?
I think you go. I think you go try and win a Super Bowl right here.
It's 4th and short
They
The Rams are 15, 18 yards from field goal range.
I'm just telling you what I'm doing here.
Yeah.
Because if you make it, you're 15 yards from field goal range. I'd rather have the ball. If I lose on offense, so be it.
They're 2 of 5 on 4th down tonight. The last one, the pass to Komet that tied this game. 4th and inches. Williams runs left. He got it. At midfield. 18 is carrying the Bears right now.
So you see the 4 there. He gets around it. We've seen quarterbacks throughout the course of these playoffs. No longer are they trying to smash their head in there against that 4-down look. Instead, they're going just off tackle, and it worked in a huge situation for the Bears.
Halfway through this first overtime. But remember, it's not like the regular season. We keep playing. There's a shot play coming. It's a toss Manunga. Hurtling forward about 3 yards.
Have you ever heard a quieter stadium in a moment that means so much to the city of Chicago? It was like they were afraid to breathe in here. There was not a sound.
Especially after that just eruption of noise again, as has happened so often here. This is play 10 of this drive against this Rams defense. Wearing down a little bit. Play 81 of the night for Chicago. From the 48, deep drop Williams. He's got time. Shot downfield in trouble. Is intercepted by Cam Curl. Curl goes over, makes the play. And the Rams have it back. 3rd interception of the night for Williams. Stafford's got a shot again.
I don't know exactly what Moore was thinking here, but it looked like he just was not interested. Curl had his eyes on Caleb Williams. He saw the release point. I'm not sure that Moore ever did. It was almost like he didn't know it was coming. Curl broke on the ball. What a sensational play by Cam Curl. And I think that Caleb Williams said, man, you've been making those plays. I was counting on you to go make that diving catch that Curl just made.
Rams take over at their own 22. It's Nakua off the edge. Strung out by Tremaine Edmonds. Pickup of about 3 for Puka. Rams going to stay no huddle here. Trying to get some tempo. Trying to get some momentum.
Well, they've got the veteran quarterback. Take advantage of it.
25. Stafford throws complete. It's the tight end Parkinson for the first down. Will be Parkinson to the 41-yard line. Gain of 15.
So just think of what you just got out of the Bears defense. They're thinking we're 1 first down away from kicking a field goal, going to the championship game. Instead, you get the interception. So what do the Rams do? They come out, go no huddle, force them to think faster than they want to, and they're moving it down the field.
Stafford pressured, got rid of it. Sideline Adams. Yes, a catch. Ruled a catch. Devontae on the sideline. First down at the 47-yard line.
That may be the throw of the year for Matthew Stafford right there. There was no space to put that ball. 0. No chance that ball got completed.
Game stopped here. See if New York stopped it for the booth.
Under further review.
Yep, replay booth stopping it. It's really close. The dragging of the foot by Adams. Once he catches it, secure there. Wait, not yet. There. Terry McCauley, you think good?
I do. This last shot we showed, you see he gets control. He's got the right foot down, and the toe does drag. The left toe does drag, and he maintains control. This is a catch.
1000% agree. I didn't see any movement at all as he hit the ground.
And how many times have we seen him do that? Corners of the end zone, sideline. Devontae Adams, 33 years old, had 1 catch before that. This catch would put the Rams at the 47 of the Bears.
Isn't it amazing, though, veteran players?
Early on the field, stands as called.
Yep.
It is a completed pass and a first down for Los Angeles.
The replay booth stopping it there to take a look. The call on the field was correct, which is a fabulous call by the on-field official live.
So does Dennis Allen come back to what worked for him? Some of these slot blitzes, bring some corners, bring some safeties off the edge. That's how he won the first half. Gotten away from it a little bit here in the second half. Down to the 5-man line. Stafford checking again.
Cora. To the 43. Stopped in the scrum by Deshaun Wright, a bunch of other Bears. And again, the Rams are going to stay out there. It's such a good point, Chris. It kind of keeps them out of the blitz stuff.
It's hard to make those kind of calls on the fly without a huddle.
2nd and 6 for Stafford, looking in the middle of the field. And that one gets knocked down. And the Rams knew the Bears were very proficient at just what happened there, knocking it down. First one of the night for Grady Jarrett.
Yeah, and their plan was they were going to chop the legs of those defensive linemen as they jumped in the air. But here it is. This is the play right now, or it's going to be one heck of a decision for the Rams.
3rd and 6. Timeout taken by Los Angeles.
Timeout Los Angeles. Their first of the overtime. 30-second timeout.
And again, because it's a new game, it's not an overtime period. You don't get 2 timeouts, you get 3 timeouts. And the Rams take the first of theirs here.
It's unbelievable, isn't it? A season on the line for these two head coaches. We see that Ben Johnson went for it on that 4th down, but now you've got 3rd and longer.
Just the second playoff overtime in the Bears' long history. 06 Divisional defeated Seattle. 4th overtime played by the Rams in their robust 58-game playoff history.
Got basically a one-on-one with Devontae Adams. Overload to the other side, to Puka's side. Let's see if they drop out of this blitz look.
3rd and 6. Kyler Gordon's coming. Pressure on. The throw's caught. Nakua. First down. Puka drags Johnson to the 27-yard line. In field goal range are the Rams.
Matthew Stafford saw that one coming all the way. Once again, they're going to come with this blitz down here. Nakua is going to be wide open. Just pitch and catch at that point. Those guys have done that so many times. And Puka Nakua is as good as any receiver this entire season, running after the catch. Makes a huge play there.
Bears are going to need a huge play or a penalty on the Rams. Almost dropped by Corum. He re-secures it for 2.5 yards, maybe 3, to the 24-yard line.
I tell you, be careful, though. What do the Bears do better than anybody? They strip that football out of there. They turn it over. They've made a season this year out of getting turnovers, and every snap the Rams take from here on is at risk, because that is all the Bears are going to be doing, trying to hold up the runner, strip the ball.
Turnover-free postseason so far for Chicago. First-year kicker Harrison Mevis. Maybe a couple of snaps away from his moment, but the Rams would love to take it all the way to the end zone and end this.
Timeout.
Timeout taken by Sean McVay. It's his 2nd. He's got 1 left.
Before the snap, timeout Los Angeles.
There's also no danger of running out of timeouts and not having challenges, because all replays are initiated by the replay booth or New York. We talked about Harrison Mevis earlier. Kicking was a problem with Joshua Carty earlier this season for the Rams. And in week 9, they signed Mevis, first-year player out of Missouri, who's been very good. His only miss was a 48-yarder against Seattle. But remember, that was the game, that was the overtime classic with Seattle and the Rams. That was a big pressure kick. And it led to Seattle winning the division and eventually the #1 seed. 2nd and 7. throw here. Scanning, taking the shot towards the end zone for Parkinson, incomplete. Brisker again, right in position.
You talk about trusting a quarterback, because it was, and everybody knew that it was going to be just straight man-to-man on the outside on all the receivers, so basically could have thrown it to anybody that he wanted to. I'm going to think, boy, I don't know. I'm throwing this one again I'm in field goal range now.
It's 42 yards from here. Corum remains the running back. Stafford out of the gun, gonna throw. Looking, end zone for Ferguson. Broken up at the last second. C.J. Gardner-Johnson. They go to the rookie, Terrence Ferguson. It's incomplete, and here comes a field goal to send him to the championship game.
C.J. Gardner-Johnson with the play-of-play so far here.
Harrison Mevis kicked in the UFL for Birmingham, kicked at Missouri. Will use a timeout to ice him. His nickname is the Thicker Kicker. It's never been a thicker pressure moment to send the Rams to the championship game. Mevis from 42 online, and it's good! And the Los Angeles Rams go to the championship game with an overtime win in Chicago. Cut by Carolina on the Jets practice squad in 2025. Harrison Mevis is a hero. Matthew Stafford and the Rams have ended this magical, glorious season for Chicago. And the Rams are bound for the Great Northwest for the third act in the trilogy to decide who will represent the NFC in Super Bowl 60. And those two guys, McVay and Stafford, at the highest level, pulled it off one more time. An unbelievable end of regulation moment with Caleb Williams to Cole Kmet, and Chicago is alive. Then after stopping the Rams, Williams gets the ball back, moving it downfield, but then this big interception juggled and held onto by Cam Curl. Stafford hit a couple of big ones to get him downfield. And Harrison Mevis, not on the Rams when the season started, ends their year of special teams woes. Year one for Ben Johnson comes to a crashing halt. And Sean McVay brings his team in the cold and the snow and sends them to the championship game. The Rams have done it. Caleb Williams' remarkable sophomore season ends. But the man who will likely be the MVP of the league, Matthew Stafford, has another game to play and is a win away from getting to another Super Bowl thanks to his hero, Harrison Mevis. The Rams are moving on. The Chevrolet postgame from Chicago after this.